Hello, my dear one. Lenka Lutonska here, founder of Business Energetics Academy. Yes, I'm about to share with you my exact 100K plus months business plan. But first, please be honest with me. Because isn't it that when you hear something like that, say, okay, yes, what do you do? What do you do? Show me. I want to do what do you do so I can also have 100K month plus business or whatever is it that you want. What do you do? Show me what you do. Isn't that just a human thinking? Let me know if that's really how you think. That's so beautifully human. And here's what I'm going to share with you. Absolutely, I will in a few minutes show you what is my thin business plan, the surface business plan, the structure, the 3D version of it. But I'm going to share with you much more important thing, and that is the unseen business plan, the actual energetic structure of my business, because this is and the 5 things that create it. Because when you make these 5 things your own, that is what's going to grow your business limitlessly from the soul in a way that is going to expand your happiness, your fulfillment, your soul, not just numbers. So here's the thing. Isn't it that we are so deeply programmed to think that seen is the cause of effect? That when I, let's say, do these YouTube videos, Lenka is doing the YouTube videos, so maybe I'll consider doing YouTube videos because YouTube video is leading to her 100K plus months. And I'm going to tell you that we've got to get unstuck from that seen is the cause of the seen effect. No, it's always what's underneath, the unseen. That's the cause of seen effect, the visible effect. It's invisible, underneath, energetic, that is the cause of visible. Invisible, what's internal, what's energetic always comes first. That the visible, those YouTube videos and whatever the business plan I'm going to share with you, what I have or you'll have or anyone else has, that can completely vary. It's not that it's not important, that it's got to be extension of that unseen alignment. Okay? So with that being said, let's satisfy your curiosity first. Let me share with you, roughly speaking, what is my 3D, visible, seen business plan. Well, number one, there is, of course, what we call offer suite, and this is how I serve my clients. It, of course, evolved over time, but I have a beautiful Business Energetics Academy, which is a home for those entrepreneurs and visionaries whose soul is too big to do the business in an old traditional way based on persuasion, manipulation, pushing, efforting, and so forth, whose soul is too deep, whose thinking is too deep, and who simply find the business energetics as their new home, how to grow and scale their business and soul at the same time. There are 4 core programs, all 1 year, meaning that's 1 year for full embodiment. It's not just about information, it's about full embodiment and being. And those are Limitless Creator and Changemaker and Limitless Millionaire and Inner Circle. And each program is building on the other, meaning Limitless Millionaire will have already included Changemaker and Limitless Creator and so forth. So these are all identity-based programs, meaning that when you, and this is something for you to perhaps to take away, when you step into Limitless Creator, you're not just stepping into a program where you're going to learn how to receive limitlessly, manifest limitlessly, and so forth, you are going to literally step into the identity where you are Limitless Creator for your business and life. Changemaker, when you are that entrepreneur and visionary that is scaling with the soul. Limitless Millionaire, when you are creating the legacy type of business scaling beyond 6 and 7 figures and so forth. So it's identity jumping, and that's the full embodiment of it. So yes, this is the offer suite, if you like, how I serve my clients, and very important part of the business plan or the skeleton of my business. The second aspect of the business plan is the visibility and marketing. And on the surface, it looks like 2 YouTube videos a week. it looks like Instagram channel, which has got some stories, which has got reels and all of that. It looks like newsletters being sent out to my gorgeous email subscribers and clients. So that's the rough structure of the visibility plan behind the Business Energetics Academy. But what's important here is that I don't treat visibility as I've got to be visible to Meta, or I've got to be visible to keep the business going or to get business growth. This is all comes from deeper energetic plan, which will come later, and that is that deep devotion to create the fractals of what creates a huge difference in the world, a huge difference in my clients' lives and businesses. And so each piece of quote unquote content is activation in itself. But we'll get to that a little later. So that's part of the business plan. What else is part of business plan? Of course, my dear team. So yes, I'm, if you like, quote unquote, very greedy with my support. I have got amazing team, amazing women who help me with editing videos like this, putting it out there, customers, client, even amazing coaches that are on my team. I've got amazing team of women with me, by my side. What's important here is that they're not do it for me, or they're like a builders of it. Let's hustle, hustle, hustle. Well, there is, of course, work. Each team member is in their zone of genius. But what's very, very important, and I'm going already into a little bit of energetics, that they resonate and they amplify my energy. That's most important. They're like the universes of their own and geniuses of their own who resonate with my full mission, full vision, who help me to hold my clients, the field, and they amplify everything. So yes, I do have a team. What else do you want to know about the business plan? Yes, I do have sales systems. So for instance, there is a HubSpot, there is my beautiful, small but deeply loving sales team, i.e. Business Energetics mentors, who are always there to support clients, to advise, is this program for you or is this program for you? And what do you truly, truly need to evolve and to grow the business the way you want and to live the life you desire? So of course, I have got a sales and sales team. All of this has been developed over time, and that's what you could see on the surface. Hopefully that's enough to satisfy that level of curiosity. But now the real deal. Now onto what's underneath that. What's the real energetic structure of my business plan that you can take for you? Those 5 things that create not just the dead skeleton, the bones, but the real living, breathing, growing organism of any soul-led business. So these are the 5 things of that business plan, energetic business plan for me. Number 1, I call this energetic connection and devotion. What I mean by that is connection with my mission, connection with my vision, connection with my dear clients, connection with what the heck am I here to do on this earth. And this to me is the most important aspect of any powerful business plan of soul-led business, because when we're not connected, we're running on old business paradigm, the wounded masculine. So it's very important that we actually are plugged in, put into electricity. So what I do personally, I'm naturally connected throughout the day, but I'm watching out that I actually stay connected. And every morning I dedicate sometimes even 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour, it doesn't matter, but to this strengthening connection. What that might look like is really visualizing and feeling my vision as it already is. Getting myself into that identity where I fulfill that vision on this earth, where I took the Business Energetics Academy to its highest level, where business energetics is really the new way and mainstream mass way to do the business, the soul-led way, not the strategy and effortless-led way. I'll take myself there as it already happened, because it's almost like I remember it. And that is for me plugging myself into that creative, divine electricity. I cannot describe it in any way. And that it's anchoring this in my body, in my mind. And I believe that in this way, when we are connected to that, connected to the vision, connected to the clients, connected to that level of identity that is already living that vision at the fullest, or the next level identity, that is creating miracles. To me, it creates miracles. It's that connection that gives me idea for every incredible next step, every program, every how to serve my clients next, and so forth. Now, creating that connection may be different and unique to you, but what I'm going to link for you here somewhere, if it's possible, or if not, in description of the video, is 5 abundance mantras that are very fantastic for this connection. They are, yes, great for keeping the abundance going and flowing, but they're fantastic for the morning time to connect or reconnect yourself with that greatest universal creative power that wants to flow through you. So you're connected to your divinity rather than humanity, 3D, okay? So that's my big part of my business plan. You know, it used to be that I didn't know I was not serving my business or vision in a best way. Years back, what I used to do the first thing in the morning would be connecting with my team, with my assistant and business manager and so forth. But what I found over time, I realized that actually when I do that, I'm immediately going into reactive energy. I'm immediately going into my team's energy and what needs to be fixed. So I'm actually operating in the old and then trying to take myself into the new business paradigm, into this creative consciousness. But when I realized that I don't allow myself to even have a phone, scroll on the phone, anything like that, until I know I'm fully connected to my divine electricity and that energy is fully anchored in my body for the day. Then I can go into my client's energy, then I can go into my team's energy, then I can go into whatever else is needed, creativity and so forth. Okay? So energetic connection and devotion, huge part of my business plan. Second big part of my business plan is energetic recalibration. So this builds on the energetic devotion and connection because, look, the pipeline dream would like to make you think that when you take your business and impact from wherever you are to say 2 or 5 or 10 levels up, that's when you will have everything at all times just joyful and you'll just feel always so switched on and you'll feel like excited electron and you'll feel in your full power and you'll feel just happiness and flow 24/7. And it doesn't work like that. This is the pipeline dream. This is not what humanity, what this experience in 3D world it's meant to be like. No, you will experience contrast, you will experience negative emotion, you will experience disappointment, you will experience when things don't go your way, just like everyone else. I experienced those things. The difference is that your relationship with that contrast, your relationship with those negative emotions, your relationship with those moments when things don't go your way, your relationship with negative emotion, with heart, changes massively. And this is where that energetic recalibration comes in. Yes, sometimes I get temporarily upset or angry or whatever it might be, but each of these moments of lower emotions, lower energies is incredible opportunity to there and then alchemize it and use it to strengthen divinity, use it to strengthen my connection and power and creative power. Because for vast majority of entrepreneurs and powerful visionaries, still what's happening is that when we experience the disappointment, where we experience the, anger, frustration, or when we feel low, whatever it might be, we take it as, what am I doing wrong? I've done something wrong. This is not working. I need to go to the beginning again. No. If that's your experience, please, at least minimum set intention, you're going to develop energetic mastery where you are going to be a master alchemist of your emotion, because I will tell you what that makes a huge difference to how your business, your impact, your life journey is going to unfold. So yes, when I feel negative emotion or when something happens, I take time, and typically it takes few minutes, depend on what intensity and what it is, or maybe sometimes few hours if needs to be. There were some rare occasions where I took half day off or whatever it might have been, because the opportunity for energetic recalibration showed up. and I use that time to alchemize what was happening inside of me and use it to strengthen my divinity, power, creative power, and all of that. Over time, not immediately, over time, what I found was that the more devotion you have to become an excellent energetic alchemist, then you'll find that this process happens more quickly. One of my favorite phrases is that if needs to be, I'll happily eat one of my shadows for breakfast. I typically do intermittent fasting until say 11 o'clock. So if I need to alchemize something in the morning, instead have a breakfast with my shadow or with a fear that came up or with something else, I'll happily do that. So that's one of my favorite things. But what I do want to say is that what's undesirable is that when something happens and it throws you off for weeks or months or even days and days, right? So this is where that energetic mastery comes in and the devotion to it. I totally get it. And I went through the journey myself that we shouldn't put ourselves a pressure that I feel negative emotion and I need to feel okay in the next 2 minutes. No, that's energetic bypassing, that's spiritual bypassing, that's suppressing emotion, which is a gift. Yes, negative emotion is also divine gift. So having said that, our devotion to energetic mastery is desired here because it's through that alchemy and learning how to alchemize it and just simply alchemizing those emotions into something higher. That's when you develop completely different relationship with quote unquote heart, with negative emotions. And that's what you want. And I will tell you, each mega successful entrepreneur and visionary and leader will have gone through this journey where their relationship with heart is, yeah, I'll take heart, I'll take challenge, I'll take disappointment, I can take 50 of them in a day, no problem. Could you? That's the question. Could you? Because that's what's going to change, that relationship with quote-unquote heart, not the heart itself. Because we need always the contrast is not to say that you have to experience contrast all the time. Let's not make this what is not meant to be. There are plenty of days, plenty of time where I'm in complete flow. But where the contrast is meant to come, it will come to grow you, to grow your business, to evolve you faster. We're working always with the polarity. Is nothing wrong with negative emotion, but your relationship with it is going to evolve over time. And that's very, very important part of personally my business plan. All right? Number 3, I treat my business as living being, not as something I build brick by brick, but something I reveal. Now, this is still in the world quite rare because again we're so programmed to trust what we see so much more than what we don't see, what we feel, what we sense. But I know, and it's not even I think or I believe, I know with every cell of my body and soul that business that is meant to come through you and the impact in the world that is meant to be channeled through you, birthed through you, already pre-exists in vibrational field in different dimension. And you're there not to create it, not to build it brick by brick, but to channel it through you. So I talk to my business as living, breathing frequency, as a living, breathing being, because it is. It's got its own consciousness. It wants to live through me as much as I want it to live through me. You see? So I talk to my systems. I talk to my funnels. I talk to my YouTube channel. I talk to my programs. I talk to my offers. I talk to my business itself. Am I crazy? Some people will say yes. But so far, I can't complain. So far, it led me to the extraordinary journey of expanding my impact from nothing to millions and millions, and it continues to grow. So you know what? I will continue to trust the unseen, and I will continue to treat my business as living, breathing frequency, being, and I will continue to be a channel of it, and I'll encourage you to do the same for you. Number 4 is about being in my highest level soul frequency as much as I can. It's essentially about embodiment and extending my soul essence through me. So for me, what does it look like? Travel is part of my business plan, because guess what? I love travel. It gives me lots of inspiration. So whether it's a city breaks here and there, or with my family, let's go over here, whatever it might be, I love travel, and it's part of my business plan. Not because I'm going to new places, because, oh my goodness, I'll go there and I hope it will bring more clients, more ideas, more. Nah, it's simply extension of my soul. It's how I love to be. I love to travel. I love to feed myself with that energy. So I know that actually not just maintains, but really enriches and grows my business, because it grows and enriches my energy. You see? So things like travel, things like luxury, things like beauty, things like gardening, things like laughter, things like love, things like pleasure, all of that is part of my business plan. Because I don't know how about you, but I'm really not a fan of the old business paradigm where we used to measure how we grow the business and how we work in terms of the amount of hours we're sitting by the computer or whatever we're doing. I've done that. Thank you very much. I've lived that experience when I was working for 15 hours a day and hardly ever earned anything, and was living in a lack and was not fulfilling my mission. So I made it my business plan to live and to be my soul essence, because after all, I am the voice and frequency behind the business energetics, you see? And you are the frequency and the voice of your business, your biggest mission on this earth, your movement, you see? So I'll just add a little bit here that I didn't start travel like every month, and I didn't start buying for pleasure bags or giving in a big way or taking time off when I feel like it, all at the same time. Of course, I worked overtime with my nervous system and with my what I call a little human. So I would be stretching myself. I would be saying yes and yes and yes to more travel, more this, more that, whatever was extending my soul in a way that would be stretching me, but not necessarily disintegrating me. And over time, of course, now I feel like I'm living my soul's essence. I'll say most of the time. I don't want to say all of the time, because I would be probably too egoistic. So not all of the time perhaps, but really most of the time. And the final, and I don't want to say the most important part of my business plan, but it's definitely important, and that is moving through thresholds. What I mean by that is, when we talk about energetic business plan, energy wants to move. It all the time it never wants to stay stagnant, you see? That movement, of course, for me comes also in terms of the physical movement. Now, I'm not saying it's like essential, you must be, exercising regularly or doing this or doing that. There was a version of me in past where I thought I'm the most lazy person on the planet. But having said that, because I've stepped into the different identity and brought forward or revealed my divine body, if you like, and I love moving now. So I use part of that movement as, if you like, the wealth encoding. So that definitely moving the energy, moving it helps to release negative emotion. It helps to encode the wealth in cells, or awaken rather. So yes. But mainly what I mean about the moving energy is actually making tangible moves forward, choices which are about jumping timelines, going from identity to the next level of identity, to the next level of identity, to the next level of identity, is ascension through the timelines. So these are the threshold moves, and I've done plenty of them in the past throughout my business journey, and I'm committed, absolutely committed, to make plenty more going forward, because this is what grows business more than anything else. It's basically when you make moves that are completely aligned with your business vision, with what you're here to birth, what you're here to give to the world, with what you desire to live. Completely aligned moves with that identity of yours, and they're taking you out of comfort zone, sometimes quite a bit. Because what those moves are telling you, okay, my old version of self doesn't like it, or my current version of self is nervous about it. My current version of self is like, nah. But my new version of self, my higher level business identity CEO, my divine CEO, when I live this in fullness, is absolutely, this is me. So you know what? I'm going to make that move. I'm going to make that choice. What does it look like in business? Well, for me, it looks like sometimes making really large investments into my business. That makes me initially, quote unquote, nervous, but I know it's commitment to that next level. So whether it's system, whether it's coaching, whether it's anything, that I know, okay, it's taking me out of my comfort zone, but I believe in my next level. I believe with what I'm here to create or reveal rather. So I'll step through the threshold of that nervousness, through threshold of that fear, and I know that, okay, I just jumped timelines. I just step into the next level of identity. Sometimes it's not necessarily related to business. Sometimes it's me booking crazy apartment for 5 figures or multiple 5 figures when no, my clients are like, what? Why? As in, it's not direct business expense, it's just for you, for your pleasure, because the wealth wants to flow. And my old self maybe said, no, this is not normal. But my new desired identity was like, this is you, Lenka, this is you. So maybe booking a business class or first level class in aeroplane, things like that, you see? So it can come in many shapes or forms. The threshold moves. But the point is, when the opportunity shows up, I will make that threshold move. This was commitment to myself. When that vision is calling me forward, when my soul is calling me forward, I'm not going to loop back into my believing more in fears, believing more in old patterns and so forth. I'll walk through this threshold, even if I'm uncomfortable. In fact, that's the sign that you're in new, right? So these are my 5 things that form the real energetic level business plan. These are 5 things that I absolutely know if you make them your own, if you practice, if you integrate, if you make that your business plan, that's what will take your business from level to level to level, not how you do the strategy. Because ultimately, when it comes to strategy, when it comes to offerings, when it comes to visibility, when it comes to this or that, you can make any and every strategy work as long as you're completely aligned with it, as you decide this is going to work, it's going to work. So that is at the surface level. It's not that it doesn't matter, it's going to be there, but it's got to be extension of the real business plan. All right? So let's get moving, energetically moving. Let's get those business plans written in your soul, in your cell, in your body, and let's create, or rather reveal, those beautiful businesses you're meant to birth, those movements you're meant to lead, that impact you're meant to make. Okay? Finally, I'll make a quick invitation, because I know that for some of you already you're thinking, okay, what's next? And my soul feels this, I got activated, I got awakened. What's next? Well, what it means is that Business Energetics Academy will be your new home for your soul and for how to scale your business with the soul. So please feel happy to come on our website, explore the 4 core Business Energetics Academy programs, book a call with one of our mentors if you'd like, but also, because this is relevant for here and now, in very short time, I'm about to be delivering very global activation initiated into wealth, where we're going to really letting go and alchemizing 8 very deep collective wounds that are probably in yourself as well, and help you to awaken and remember the wealth that is already living in your body, living in your cells, living in your soul, living in your here and now. So maybe check it out. It's at symbolic £8.88 for a reason. So you're not just passive listener, but active receiver. So check it out, because that may be your next beautiful step, how you can step through the next threshold of your identity. All right? And in the meantime, I deeply love you. I want to hear what you're taking away from here. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And you will be, I know it, you will be in some shape or form rewarded for it. I thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I am wealth. And I've been waiting for you to remember, not to chase me, but to feel me. Not to earn me, but to be me. I live in your bones. I pulse through your nervous system. And I awaken when you say yes, not to the world, but to your own knowing. This is your invitation. to step into the field of remembrance, to activate the codes already written in your now. Get initiated into wealth. I have been waiting for you.